Does this mean that there is no correspondence from you to the White House seeking accommodation on this material?
We've had all kinds of correspondence with the White House on this broad subject relative to the Zwanitzer and the letter we got 2 days ago. We've not corresponded with the White House yet. We have not engaged with the White House since the letter on the 25th of this month 2 days ago.
And prior to that time, did you engage the White House in an effort to obtain these materials?
All kinds of engagements with our counsel and counsel.
I'm talking about
the Justice Department and White House with our counsel over the last several months relative to the special counsel
this subpoena, Mr. Chairman. Did you engage with the White House at any time in the last several weeks since issuing this subpoena, the one you want to hold this witness in contempt for? Did you ever engage with the White House in an effort to accommodate, an effort to reach an agreement, an effort to prevent this from having to be litigated? Did you ever write any correspondence, make any call to the White House seeking to engage, seeking to get these materials that you're seeking from the author instead from the White House? Did you ever do that, Mr. Chairman?
We're seeking documents.
What's up, fellow patriots? Welcome back to Freedom Voice, where we speak the truth without fear. If you're sick and tired of what's going on at our southern border and the lies the mainstream media keeps pushing, smash that like button and subscribe. We've got a lot to talk about today. All right, folks, buckle up because things just got heated in the House Judiciary Committee. Jim Jordan and Adam Schiff went toe-to-toe during a markup. And let me tell you, this exchange tells you everything you need to know about how the left plays games with power.
Gentleman from California withdraws a point of order who seeks recognition. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, much as I don't like certain parts of the Mazur decision, it clearly applies in this case, and the committee is required to engage with the White House in order to seek an accommodation over materials held by a private party, as they were in the Mazur's case, and seek to resolve this with the White House. So I would ask unanimous consent that we enter into the record your correspondence to the White House.
Objection. Seeking
to engage them to resolve this. And I thank the chairman for not objecting. Can you produce that correspondence to the White House asking for accommodation on these materials you've sought by this subpoena?
First time they reached out to us was 2 days ago.
Yes, and of course the author expressed the concern that these materials may implicate interests of the executive. I think that was weeks ago. But having admitted without dissent your correspondence to the White House, can you produce that for us where you have sought an accommodation, where you've sought to work this out with the White House? Can you share that with us since that is now part of the record?
Well, I thought you had it. You wanted to enter it into the record.
I do. I presume that, knowing your responsibilities, you have sought to engage the White House. So,
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Produce the recognized for point of order.
I think a unanimous consent request to submit something to the record is where the person who's asking for the floor is the proponent of submitting information that member has. I don't believe it's appropriate to ask a unanimous consent request to engage in a colloquy over discovering information or obtaining information from another member of the committee.
Great, and that's why I said that no objection to the unanimous consent request. If the gentleman from California wants to talk about that and present it to us, God bless him. He's allowed to do it. So it's 5 minutes.
I would like clarification from the chairman. Does this mean that there is no correspondence from you to the White House seeking accommodation on this material?
We've had all kinds of correspondence with the White House on this broad subject relative to the Zwanitzer and the letter we got 2 days ago. We've not corresponded with the White House yet. If we will, we may. That's a decision we'll make.
And you have not corresponded with the White House seeking accommodation ever since the author who you are subpoenaing and seeking to hold in contempt articulated the view that there was executive interest and potential privilege over this material. You haven't sought to engage over the weeks since you received that communication?
We have not engaged with the White House since the letter on the 25th of this month 2 days ago.
And prior to that time, did you engage the White House in an effort to obtain these materials?
All kinds of engagements with our counsel and counsel.
I'm talking about
the Justice Department and White House with our counsel over the last several months relative to the special counsel.
This subpoena, Mr. Chairman. Did you engage with the White House at any time in the last several weeks since issuing this subpoena, the one you want to hold this witness in contempt for? Did you ever engage with the White House in an effort to accommodate, an effort to reach an agreement, an effort to prevent this from having to be litigated? Did you ever write any correspondence, make any call to the White House seeking to engage, seeking to get these materials that you're seeking from the author instead from the White House. Did you ever do that, Mr. Chairman?
We're seeking documents from a private individual who I might add tried to destroy the evidence.
I guess
that
the
we were
question is,
seeking.
I guess the answer is
Since-
no.
Since
I
2
guess
days
the answer is no.
The answer is since 2 days ago, I'm not
asking the
sought-
question about since 2 days ago, although nothing
That's when they
prevented you-
first raised the concern.
Nothing prevented you from writing a letter within the last 2 days or reaching out to the White House before this.
Now you want me to be clairvoyant and read the White House's mind and write a letter before they tell us something?
Nothing prevented you from seeking these
Gentleman
materials
from
from the White
California
House
is known for
months, Mr. Chairman, for months.
I'm not a mind reader.
And,
I don't know what they're
I thank you for making a very clean record for any court that will look at this,
The
that you
gentleman from
never
North Carolina
sought an
said
accommodation
months ago the
at
White House
all
could have raised the
to
concern,
obtain-
and they
to obtain these
didn't.
documents. Because your first move, of course, is to go right to contempt. Ironically, of course, for a chairman who was in contempt of his own subpoena.
Point of order, Mr.
We're still
Chairman.
waiting for you to testify and meet the obligations of your own subpoena, Mr. Chairman. But nevertheless, I appreciate you're making such a clean record for any court in this case that you have never sought an accommodation, never written to the White House, never called the White House, never had a communication with the White House in order to obtain these materials as part of an accommodation. Thank you for that very clean record for the court, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Who seeks recognition?
Let's break this down. So here's what happened. Schiff, the same Adam Schiff who pushed the fake Russia collusion hoax for years, had the nerve to lecture Jim Jordan about the subpoena process. He tried to twist it, saying Jordan hadn't reached out to the White House enough, hadn't done this, hadn't done that. Basically, Schiff is trying to paint Republicans as reckless for demanding the truth. But here's the thing. Patriots. Jim Jordan did acknowledge there was communication. The White House sent a letter, and the committee has been working with that. What Schiff wants is delay. He wants endless bureaucracy, endless excuses, so the Biden White House never has to cough up the documents Congress is entitled to. Classic stall tactic. Let's call this what it is. Executive privilege being used as a political shield. The White House doesn't want to hand over materials, and Democrats like Schiff are running interference. They're protecting Biden, protecting his administration, and hoping the American people just forget. But folks, accountability is not optional. Congress has oversight powers. Jim Jordan is doing exactly what he's supposed to do, holding the executive branch accountable. If the shoe were on the other foot, you better believe Schiff and the Democrats would be throwing subpoenas like confetti. Remember what they did to Trump? They didn't care about accommodation. They didn't care about privilege. They went straight for the jugular. But now, all of a sudden, they want to play process referee. Give me a break. This heated back and forth shows us one thing. Democrats will always protect their own, even if it means stonewalling Congress and hiding the truth from the American people. That's why we need fighters like Jim Jordan who won't back down, who will press for transparency, and who will not let the Biden White House skate by. Patriots, stay awake. Don't let the media spin this into Republicans are being unreasonable. No, Republicans are fighting for oversight, accountability, and for you, the American people. And Adam,